In the year 2847, the Galactic Empire was the strongest power in the known universe. They ruled over more than 3,000 star systems. Their huge warships patrolled every corner of space. Their weapons were feared by every race. No one dared to challenge them. The Empire believed nothing could escape their control. Deep in space, on a giant Imperial command station, everything was quiet that night. Officers sat at their screens, watching the stars. Everything looked normal. Then, without any warning, a loud alarm began to scream through the entire station. Red lights flashed everywhere. The main screen lit up with a bright warning. Unknown vessel detected. Senior Officer Vorn jumped from his chair. What is this? Show me the details. The team quickly checked the data. At first, they smiled. They thought it was just another smuggler ship trying to hide. But as more information came in, their smiles slowly disappeared. The ship was huge. It moved at an unbelievable speed, faster than any ship in the Imperial fleet. Even more shocking, there was no data about it. No origin. No transponder code. No known ship design. No records in the Empire's giant database. It was like the ship had appeared from nowhere. Admiral Korvax must see this right now. Officer Vorn shouted. Admiral Korvax was a tall, cold man with many battle scars. He was one of the most feared leaders in the Empire. When he entered the command room, everyone became silent. He walked straight to the main screen and stared at the glowing dot moving across the star map. For a few seconds, he said nothing. Then he spoke in a deep, angry voice. This is impossible. Our sensors are the best in the galaxy. Nothing should be able to hide from us. Send 4 destroyers immediately. Intercept that ship and find out what it is. The officers quickly followed his orders. 4 powerful Imperial destroyers received the command and jumped into hyperspace. Their captains laughed over the radio. It's probably some old alien junk, one captain said. We'll catch it in minutes. The destroyers came out of hyperspace right in the path of the unknown ship. They were now close enough to see it clearly on their cameras. The ship looked strange and beautiful at the same time. It had a long, smooth shape with glowing blue lights along its sides. It moved with a grace that no Imperial ship had. Unknown vessel, the lead captain broadcasted in every known language, stop your engines and prepare to be boarded. This is the Galactic Empire. You are in our space. There was no answer. The unknown ship did not slow down. Instead, it made a small turn and increased its speed even more. In just a few seconds, it left the 4 destroyers far behind, as if they were standing still. The captains could not believe their eyes. What just happened? One pilot shouted. It's gone. How is this possible? Back at the command station, Admiral Korvax slammed his fist on the table. His face turned red with anger. Send 10 more ships, he ordered. I want that vessel caught and brought to me. No excuses. As the new ships jumped toward the unknown vessel, tension filled the command room. The officers whispered to each other. How can a ship move like that? Where did it come from? Could this be a new threat? Admiral Korvax stood silently, staring at the screen. He had never seen anything like this in all his years of service. The unknown ship was not just fast, it was toying with the Empire's best forces. The 4 destroyers tried to chase again, pushing their engines to the limit. But the strange ship kept pulling away. It moved smoothly, almost like it was dancing through space. On the bridge of the lead destroyer, the captain felt a chill run down his spine. For the first time in his career, he felt something he rarely felt. Fear. Little did they know, this was only the beginning. The Empire had just met something they could not control. A ship with no past, no origin, and speed that broke every rule they knew. And this was just the first move in a much bigger game. The 4 Imperial destroyers burst out of hyperspace with a bright flash of light. They appeared directly in the path of the unknown ship. The captains felt confident. This was standard procedure. No ship had ever escaped the Empire before. Unknown vessel, the lead captain broadcasted loudly, "This is the Galactic Empire. Stop your engines immediately and prepare to be boarded. Do not try to run. You are surrounded." The message went out in every known language. The officers waited for a reply. But the bridge stayed silent. The unknown ship did not slow down. It did not answer. It simply kept moving forward at high speed. On the main screen, the strange ship looked even more impressive up close. Its long body glowed with soft blue lights. The design was smooth and powerful. It looked like nothing they had seen in the Empire's records. "Fire warning shots," the lead captain ordered. 2 bright plasma beams shot across space. They passed close to the unknown ship as a clear threat. Still, there was no response. Then, something unbelievable happened. The unknown ship made a small, graceful turn. Its engines glowed brighter for just a moment. In the next few seconds, it accelerated so fast that the Imperial destroyers looked like they were standing still. The distance between them grew larger and larger. "What the hell?" one pilot shouted. "It's pulling away." The captains pushed their engines to full power. Red warning lights flashed on their control panels. The destroyers shook as they tried to catch up. But the unknown ship kept getting smaller on their screens. It was impossible. No ship in the Empire could move like that. Back at the Imperial command station, Admiral Korvax watched everything on the big screen. His face turned dark with anger. "This is impossible," he roared. "Nothing in our database can move at that speed. Send 10 more ships right now. Block its path from all sides." 10 fresh destroyers jumped into hyperspace immediately. They came out in a wide formation, trying to create a net around the unknown ship. For a moment, it looked like they had succeeded. The strange ship was now surrounded by 14 Imperial warships. The lead captain smiled coldly. "Now you have nowhere to go." He sent another message, "This is your final warning. Stop or we will open fire." Again, the unknown ship gave no reply. Instead, it did something that shocked every pilot watching. It turned sharply and flew straight toward a small gap between 2 destroyers. At the last second, it increased speed again and slipped through the trap like it was a game. The Imperial ships tried to turn and follow, but they were too slow and heavy. After it. Admiral Korvax shouted from the command station. "Do not let it escape." The chase continued for hours. The Empire sent even more ships, 20 in total now. They tried every trick they knew. They set up minefields. They tried to predict the ship's path and block it. They used their strongest scanners to find any weakness. Nothing worked. The unknown ship moved with perfect control. It never seemed scared. It never made mistakes. Sometimes it slowed down just enough to let the Imperial ships get close. Then, at the last moment, it would shoot forward again, leaving them behind in the darkness of space. Inside one of the destroyers, a young pilot named Lyra watched the unknown ship on her screen. Her hands were shaking. "How is this happening?" she whispered. "Who is flying that thing? Are they playing with us?" Her captain heard her and snapped, "Focus. The Empire does not lose chases." But deep down, fear was growing among the pilots. They were trained to fight strong enemies, but this felt different. This ship was not fighting back, it was simply showing that the Empire could not catch it. Admiral Korvax paced angrily in the command room. His officers stayed quiet. No one wanted to speak. The Admiral had never looked so worried before. "Keep chasing," he ordered in a cold voice. "I want that ship caught. Use everything we have. If it resists, destroy it. The officers looked at each other. Destroy it? They had not even identified what it was yet. As the chase went on, the unknown ship continued its strange behavior. It stayed just out of reach. It moved through space like it knew every move the Empire would make. The Imperial crews grew tired and frustrated. Their ships were burning fuel at dangerous levels. Back at the command station, one senior officer quietly said, "Sir, what if this ship is not from any race we know? What if it is something new?" Admiral Korvac stared at the screen without blinking. The glowing blue ship continued to dance through their formations. "This chase ends now," he said finally. "Prepare the main fleet. We are done playing games." The unknown ship had embarrassed the Empire's best forces. And it had done it without firing a single shot. But the Empire was about to change its strategy. Things were about to get much more dangerous. The chase had now lasted for many hours, but the unknown ship still showed no signs of slowing down. The Imperial fleet was getting tired and frustrated. Admiral Korvac stood in the command station with his arms crossed. His eyes were fixed on the main screen. The small blue dot representing the strange ship moved smoothly across the star map, always staying just out of reach. "Try the advanced scanners again," he ordered loudly. The officers worked quickly. They used the Empire's most powerful scanning systems. These scanners could normally read every detail of a ship from far away, its engine type, weapons, even the number of crew members. But this time, the results were shocking. "No data available," the computer voice repeated. "No origin found. No matching design in the database." Admiral Korvac was not ready to give up. "Send spy drones. Now." Dozens of small, fast drones were launched from the Imperial warships. They flew toward the unknown ship like a swarm of angry insects. The officers watched with hope. These drones were designed to get close and collect information. But as they neared the target, something strange happened. The drones suddenly lost control. Their cameras went blank. Some turned around and flew back toward the Imperial ships. Others simply stopped moving and floated uselessly in space. Not a single drone managed to send back useful data. "This cannot be happening," Officer Vorn said quietly. He looked scared. "Our best technology is failing." The crew on the Imperial ships began to whisper. Rumors started spreading fast through the fleet. Some pilots said the ship was a ghost from ancient times. Others believed it was a secret weapon from a powerful new alien race. A few even thought it might be a test from the Emperor himself. Fear was growing among the soldiers. They had always believed the Empire was the strongest force in the galaxy. Now one single ship was making them look weak. Back at the main command station, a direct message arrived from the Emperor. The Emperor was angry. He demanded answers. Why could the Empire not catch one simple ship? Admiral Korvac read the message with tight lips. He knew his career was in danger. He turned to his officers with a cold, hard face. "We are done trying to catch it," he said in a dangerous voice. "Prepare to destroy it. I want that ship blown into pieces. The Empire will not be embarrassed any longer." The officers looked at each other nervously. Destroying an unknown ship without knowing what it was could be risky. But no one dared to argue with the admiral. The Empire began to change its strategy. They stopped chasing and started planning a trap. They moved their biggest warships into position. They powered up their strongest weapons. Green lights glowed along the sides of the giant battleships. Meanwhile, the unknown ship continued to fly calmly through space. It did not attack. It did not run away in fear. It simply moved with confidence, as if it knew exactly what the Empire was planning. Inside one Imperial destroyer, young pilot Lyra looked at the blue glowing ship on her screen. "Who are you?" she whispered to herself. "Why are you doing this?" The mystery was becoming deeper and darker. The Empire had faced many enemies before, but none like this. This ship was too fast, too smart, and too mysterious. It broke every rule they knew about space travel. Admiral Korvac stared at the screen with burning eyes. He made his final decision. Set the trap near the asteroid field. When the ship enters, we will attack with full force. No warnings this time. The entire Imperial fleet moved into attack positions. The tension in space was thick. Everyone could feel that something big was about to happen. The unknown ship kept flying forward, straight toward the trap. It showed no fear. Its blue lights glowed peacefully in the darkness of space. The Empire was ready to destroy it. But deep down, a small question was growing in everyone's mind: what if this ship was stronger than they thought? The mystery had deepened. And the real danger was only beginning. The Imperial fleet moved quickly into position. Admiral Korvac had chosen a perfect trap near a dense asteroid field. Large rocks floated everywhere, making it hard for any ship to escape. More than 30 warships waited in the darkness. Their weapons were fully powered. Green lights glowed along their heavy guns. The two giant battleships stood at the center like angry monsters. "Everyone stay alert," Admiral Korvac ordered from the command station. "When the unknown ship enters the trap, fire everything. Do not hold back. Destroy it completely." The officers and pilots were nervous but ready. They had never seen their admiral so angry. The long chase had hurt the Empire's pride. Now they wanted revenge. The unknown ship continued flying straight toward the trap. Its blue lights glowed calmly in the black space. It did not change direction. It did not try to run away. It moved with the same smooth confidence as before. "Here it comes," Officer Vorn said quietly. As soon as the sleek ship entered the asteroid field, Admiral Korvac gave the command. "Fire!" The entire Imperial fleet attacked at once. Bright green plasma beams lit up the darkness like a storm. Hundreds of powerful shots raced toward the unknown ship. Missiles flew from every direction. The space around the ship exploded with light and fire. It looked impossible for anything to survive such an attack. The Imperial pilots cheered loudly. "We got it," someone shouted. But they were wrong. The unknown ship moved like it was alive. It twisted sharply to the left, then rolled upward. Most of the beams missed by small distances. The few shots that hit the hull seemed to do very little damage. The ship's surface glowed for a moment and absorbed the energy. Admiral Korvac slammed his hand on the table. "Keep firing. Do not stop." The fleet attacked again with even more power. The giant battleships fired their main cannons. Huge energy blasts cut through space. Asteroids exploded into pieces when hit by mistake. The noise and light were terrifying. Still, the unknown ship survived. It flew between the asteroids with perfect control. It used the floating rocks as cover, moving fast and changing direction in ways no Imperial ship could copy. It looked like the pilot knew exactly where every shot would go. Then, for the first time, the unknown ship fought back. Small doors opened on its sides. Dozens of smart missiles launched into space. These missiles were different. They moved with intelligence. They turned corners. They followed Imperial ships even when they tried to escape. In less than a minute, 3 Imperial cruisers lost their engines and went dark. The Imperial captains panicked. "How are these missiles so smart?" one pilot shouted. Another destroyer tried to shoot down the incoming missiles but failed. The human missiles avoided every counter-attack and disabled the ship's weapons systems. The Empire was losing ships without the unknown vessel using heavy weapons. Admiral Korvac could not believe his eyes. His voice became loud and full of rage. "Close in. Surround it. Use ramming speed if you have to. The Imperial ships moved closer. They tried to block every escape path. For a short moment, it looked like they had trapped the blue ship again. But the unknown ship suddenly accelerated in a sharp upward spiral. It broke through the formation and left several more ships damaged behind it. Inside the command station, the officers watched in shocked silence. Their faces showed fear and confusion. This was not a normal fight. The enemy ship was too fast, too smart, and too advanced. Young pilot Lyra, who was watching from her destroyer, whispered, "This is not possible. One ship cannot do this against our whole fleet." The battle continued for nearly an hour. The Empire used all their tricks, mines, electronic jamming, and full-power barrages. But the unknown ship kept dodging and striking back with its clever missiles. It never destroyed any Imperial ship completely. It only disabled them, as if sending a message. Admiral Korvax was breathing heavily now. His hands were shaking with anger. The Empire had lost control of the situation. The easy target had become a nightmare. Finally, the unknown ship slowed down again. It turned to face the damaged fleet. A communication signal came through once more. The moment of first contact had arrived. The Empire had attacked with full force. They had used their greatest power. But the mysterious ship was still there, strong, calm, and untouched. And now, it was ready to speak. The long chase had gone on for many hours. The Imperial fleet was tired and angry. More than 30 warships now followed the unknown ship. They had used every trick, but nothing worked. The strange vessel with glowing blue lights still moved ahead with ease. Admiral Korvax was losing his patience. His face looked hard and cold as he stood in the command station. "Enough games," he growled. "Close the distance. Force it into a corner. We will make it stop." The Imperial ships pushed their engines harder. They formed a tight circle around the unknown ship. For the first time, it seemed like there was no escape. The Empire had finally trapped it near a large asteroid field. The officers watched their screens with hope. This time, the ship would have to surrender. Then, something surprising happened. The unknown ship began to slow down. Its bright blue lights dimmed a little. It stopped running and turned to face the Imperial fleet. The entire command room became completely silent. No one could believe what they were seeing. "They are stopping," Officer Vorn whispered. "Why now?" A signal came through on the main communication channel. The officers quickly turned up the volume. A clear, calm voice filled the room. It spoke perfect Imperial language with confidence. "This is Captain Emma Reyes of the United Terran ship Odyssey. We come in peace, but we will defend ourselves if you attack." The message was short but powerful. For a few seconds, no one moved. The words hung in the air like a heavy weight. "Humans," one young officer said in shock. "Did she say humans?" The team quickly checked their records. Yes. Humans were a small, young race. They lived on one small planet called Earth, far away on the edge of the galaxy. The Empire had known about them for many years but never cared. Humans were weak. They had only a few old ships and no real power. The Empire had never seen them as a threat. Now, one single human ship had led the entire Imperial fleet on a long chase. It had made fools of their best captains and technology. The officers looked at each other in disbelief. Admiral Korvax stared at the screen with wide eyes. His hands tightened into fists. His face turned red with rage. He could not accept this. "Humans," he shouted. "A weak little species dares to enter our space and play games with us. This is an insult to the Empire." He walked closer to the main screen. The image of the Odyssey showed a clean, advanced ship. Its design was different from anything in the Imperial database. It looked peaceful but strong at the same time. Open communication, the Admiral ordered. The channel opened. Admiral Korvax spoke in a loud, threatening voice. Human Captain, you have entered Imperial territory without permission. Your ship has no right to be here. Surrender immediately and prepare to be boarded. If you resist, we will destroy you. There was a short pause. Then Captain Emma Reyes replied. Her voice stayed calm and steady. Admiral, we did not come to fight. We are explorers. But your ships chased us for hours and fired weapons at us. We only defended ourselves. We wish for peace, but we will not be slaves. Her words made the situation even worse. The Imperial officers became furious. How could a human speak to the Empire like this? He turned to his officers and gave the order in a cold, deadly voice. All ships, prepare to attack. Target their engines first. Disable them. Then board the ship. I want that human captain brought to me in chains. Erase this insult from our space. The command station became full of activity. Alarms sounded again. The 30 Imperial warships moved into attack positions. Their weapons powered up with bright green lights. The destroyers and battleships aimed at the Odyssey. On the human ship, Captain Emma Reyes stood on her bridge. She looked at her crew with steady eyes. They were ready. The Odyssey was not alone. It carried advanced systems and brave people who believed in their future. Back at the Imperial command station, Admiral Korvax watched with satisfaction. He believed this would be quick and easy. One human ship could not stand against the full power of the Empire. But deep inside, a small doubt had started to grow in his mind. This human ship had already shown impossible speed and smart moves. What other surprises did it have? The damaged Imperial fleet floated in space. Many ships had lost power. Lights were dark on several destroyers. Admiral Korvax stared at the main screen with burning anger and disbelief. The unknown ship, now known as the Odyssey, hung calmly in front of them. Its blue light still glowed brightly, untouched. Captain Emma Reyes's voice came through the speakers once again. It was calm, clear, and confident. Admiral Korvax, we do not want to destroy your ships. We came in peace. But if you continue to attack, we will defend ourselves with full force. This is your last warning. Admiral Korvax laughed with rage. You dare threaten the Galactic Empire? One small human ship against our fleet. Attack. Destroy them now. The remaining Imperial warships opened fire with everything they had left. Green plasma beams filled the darkness. Missiles flew in large numbers. The two giant battleships fired their most powerful cannons. It looked like the end for the Odyssey. But what happened next shocked the entire Empire. The human ship did not run. It did not hide. Instead, it fought back with amazing skill. Small doors opened all over the Odyssey. Hundreds of advanced drone fighters came out like a swarm. These drones were fast and smart. They attacked the Imperial ships from every direction. At the same time, the Odyssey used powerful electronic jamming. Many Imperial targeting systems suddenly failed. Their screens went blank. Pilots shouted in confusion as they lost control of their weapons. They are inside our systems, one officer screamed. Captain Emma Reyes and her crew stayed calm on the bridge. They used smart tactics instead of raw power. They predicted the Empire's moves. They set clever traps. The human ship moved with perfect speed and grace, dodging heavy attacks while striking back with precision. One by one, more Imperial ships lost power. Their engines went dark. Their weapons stopped working. The humans were not killing the crews, they were disabling the ships. It was a clear message: we are better than you, but we choose mercy. Admiral Korvax watched in horror as his mighty fleet fell apart. The Empire, which had ruled thousands of star systems for centuries, was being defeated by one human ship. Impossible, he whispered. His hands shook. For the first time in his long career, he felt true fear. The battle reached its peak. The Odyssey flew straight toward the two giant battleships. Its drones created a beautiful but deadly light show in space. Smart missiles found weak points in the Empire's defenses. In just 20 minutes, the once proud Imperial fleet was forced to retreat. The surviving ships turned and jumped into hyperspace, leaving the battlefield behind. Only a few damaged warships remained, floating helplessly. Admiral Korvac sat in his chair, completely defeated. The command station was silent. No one spoke. Then Captain Emma Reyes sent one final message to the entire Imperial fleet. We are humans. We are small in number. We are young in the galaxy. But we are not weak. We do not want war, but we will never be slaves. The galaxy is much bigger than your empire. We are ready to explore it together, as equals. Do not chase us again. Her words echoed across every Imperial ship. The message was simple, but it carried great power. Back on Earth, far away, the leaders of humanity watched the live transmission with pride. The Odyssey had done what many thought was impossible. One ship had stood against the strongest empire in the galaxy, and won. Admiral Korvac later stood before the Emperor. He had no excuses. The Empire learned a hard and painful lesson that day: never judge a species by its size or age. Technology, intelligence, and courage could change everything. From that moment, the name humanity spread across the galaxy. Many races who lived under the Empire's control began to hope. If humans could do this, maybe the future would be different. The Odyssey continued its journey deeper into space. Its blue lights glowed peacefully as it flew toward new stars. Captain Emma Reyes stood on the bridge, looking out at the beautiful universe. Humanity had stood tall. They had announced their arrival. And the galaxy would never be the same again.